So what's up, Callie? How you been?
I've been great, man.
Are you flying?
What?
Have you been flying? Are you furloughed?
I did fly once, yeah. So it worked out. I don't know how your company does it. We had I've always put in for the premium stuff, and if there's a gap. So the phone call came, and I cut my hair and shaved for the first time in 3 months. Went to San Francisco. It's not as nice as I remember.
We may have a sound check. Hold on, let's see.
Oh.
Go ahead, love.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, much better.
Okay. Turn on my earpods.
Yeah,
Here.
that would.
Is that better?
Way better.
Good idea.
We lost video though.
We lost video,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
there's
one
not
second.
any picture.
That's
of
okay.
you.
If we have audio,
Much
good?
better.
All right.
Are you on your
Yay.
phone?
Perfect. All right.
Oh,
I
wow.
am on my
Okay.
phone.
All right, that works.
Cool. Well, Love, since you're the guest of honor, tell us where you're at right now and what you're doing.
I am at the Fairmont Mayacoba in Mexico, right outside of Playa del Carmen. I am chilling on the day that I'm going to find out if I'm furloughed, right?
Is that today?
I think it's the end of it. Today's the last day to put it in. So because I wanted to be somewhere relaxing instead of somewhere stressful. And I am here. So I just submitted it right before this call.
I guess that makes sense. So August 1st would be 2 months before October 1st, and that would be the,
that's
the
right.
opening gate for that, huh?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's what they said. And when you say submit, what'd you submit? Like your preference or something?
So I submitted for the 13-month furlough and then the 8-month furlough.
And for those of you guys listening, watching, whatever you're doing out there, she is a flight attendant to a company that will remain nameless.
No, that's interesting. So you get to pick your length of time out, and you guarantee to come back after that. Is that the case?
Yes.
Because in my understanding, for at least our company, when you're furloughed, it's just don't call us, we'll call you, and it could be 5 months, it could be 3 years, and they don't know. So that's actually kind of nice to have an end.
Well, we have two different types of furloughs.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
There's a voluntary furlough where you get to select based on the benefits. And that's the reason why I selected the voluntary furlough, hoping that I'm senior enough to qualify for it. And they can only allot so many voluntary and 8-month and 13 months. And then you get furloughed after that. And I'm 4,000 deep into that 15,000 furlough pocket. So it's there.
Wow.
So do you have the feelers out in any other jobs, and are you looking in the same career field, or what are you looking to do during those 8 or 15 months?
So I'm currently working in digital marketing. Yep.
Digital marketing.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely deep dive into that for sure. Because we all could use it.
How long have you been a flight attendant for?
So I started my 20th year in May.
20th year, and you're getting furloughed.
I am.
Wow. Is the fact that the airlines aren't serving food, is that enabling them to operate with fewer flight attendants?
What do you mean not serving food?
You know the answer to that, Tyler.
I mean, essentially, is each flight working with fewer staff, fewer flight attendants, or not? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I think we've always almost worked at a minimal capacity anyway for flight attendants.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
To answer your question.
Right. So I think it's still one flight attendant per every 50 passengers. Is that right?
Exactly.
Then that's pretty
there's a number. There's an FAA rule out there, and company-wide rule.
Right.
So it's not dictated by the level of service you provide. Just safety.
No,
Have you been getting hungry? What's going on?
Look at me. I love food.
Yes.
I've never missed a meal.
If you've ever met him,
Uber Eats Platinum Tyler Allerding.
He's an Uber Eats Platinum member.
I'm built for comfort, not for speed.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He's a big cuddly bear. He's about 6'6", a big cuddly.
Yep.
Wow. Uber Eats.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a connoisseur of Uber Eats, if that's a thing. I don't know. So you're a trendsetter, Love. You're a what do they call it? Influencer. He is an Uber Eats influencer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, if that's a thing.
Given that you're, what is it, diamond or what is
Platinum,
that? Premier
platinum.
status?
I'm not
Platinum?
Not quite diamond.
Oh,
We all
diamond.
have,
you own your own franchise.
Goals. We all have goals.
You own a franchise, I think, if you're diamond.
You got to figure diamond members are probably ordering for like an office or something.
I'm sure.
You can't be eating that all yourself.
Because I'm max performing. I'm max performing the app.
It's kind of like if you get like the diamond status on frequent flyer, you're not doing that on your dime. You're doing it on your company's dime, right?
Yep.
Sure.
If you're getting diamond status Uber Eats, you're probably making the takeout order. You're probably the office bitch for quite a few years. Yeah.
Can you make it to lifetime member though as platinum? Do they have lifetime platinum, lifetime silver, lifetime diamond? I mean, we can go a deep dive here too, man. I think we should really discuss.
I haven't dug into it yet, but it's probably something I should check out. I'd hate to miss out on some opportunities in the future.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't want you to miss out and fuck the rest of us, because I think we all, when we come visit you, we should get a little Uber Eat action going.
Yeah.
What do you think? So, Love, what do you know any of the numbers by chance? So you said, the numbers, since this is Furlough Friday, we're going to talk a little bit about that and then pivot to what you've pivoted to. Do you know the numbers for your company and then the numbers nationwide, like Delta, and we're talking flight attendants, Delta or some of the other big guys out there?
Do I know the numbers? No.
Okay.
As far as our numbers, out of the 15,000 that was projected to be receiving warn letters, I heard that only about 500 or so, it might have risen in the last 2 weeks, have taken some kind of out. So, so not a lot of people are retiring. The retirement packages that they're offering, the separation packages that they're offering are not that great for people to take it. Yeah. So,
wow.
So because I'm 4,000 in, I'm 4,000 in, I started it in 2001. Okay. And it went back to 1996. So with that,
wow.
Yeah. So 15,000, I would need 4,000 above the warn line before 1996, if I can understand correctly, for me to be safe.
Be safe.
And so right now it's just about 500 or so. So
hey, have you heard, like, how's that affecting you guys? Again, when you talk, because I know you have a lot of friends in the industry and that are flight attendants, obviously. How's that affecting you guys, like personally or mentally, emotionally? I mean, you don't have to get real deep and tell personal stories, but like, what's the overall feel for the flight attendants?
Well, they're stressed out. A lot of them were in denial because they were still getting paid. A lot of us were on reserve, having held lines before. A lot of them were stressed out, but again, in denial. When I say in denial, they were still receiving a paycheck. And I warned them, guys, get your finances straight, get your finances straight.
Yeah.
Flight attendants, a lot of flight attendants live beyond their means. And I've been here. This is my second rodeo. I got furloughed after September 11th.
Oh, that's right, 9/11. Yeah.
Yep. So.
And they're saying this one stands to be worse.
Yes. So from what I hear, with particular companies, they're looking at the furlough rates to be, I guess, projected based on a year and a half or a year next summer, basically, of how well the company will be operating or doing profit-wise. And then some other companies are doing 2022, so
I saw that too.
Honestly, the company that I was with bounced back really quickly because it wasn't one of the major names that got hit at the time in 2001. And so it took about 8 months. I was furloughed, and then they recalled me 8 months after. So. Oh,
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one is expecting to be worse. So 8 months, don't expect a call. Is that kind of the consensus?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, wow.
And they're different numbers. There are different mechanic numbers, there are different ramp numbers, customer service numbers, as well as pilot numbers. You know, I just got in a debate with this guy who said, oh, we're going to be operating at a 60% capacity. You might be operating at 6%, but we're going to be operating at 30%. There's many more of us. You know, and granted, you guys can still fly cargo flights, whereas
you don't need a flight attendant for cargo.
Exactly. So
Yep.
So I mean, those are the only numbers I know. So,
but you are known in the industry, if you will, as someone that is able to pivot. So, I mean, just a week ago, you pivot to a podcast that had some questionable people on it. But I know Tyler had some questions about that pivot and kind of what it looked like. Did you want to talk about it? I mean, not the podcast, not the other podcast. Ron, just I mean, how you.
I feel like we should dive into this podcast first.
You can go ahead. We can talk about them. Well, they were amazing. Just FYI, it was just.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
What was the target audience of that podcast?
I think everybody. It's a real podcast. It was great.
Yeah, I saw. So. I kind of, everybody follows you online, and we glanced at it. It was quite entertaining. Those guys have a hell of a following.
The Furlough Friday podcast, or who ran this thing?
No. He's like he's a comedian. He's it almost seemed like the Black Howard Stern.
Oh, cool.
Larry is hilarious.
Yeah, it was crazy. Hilarious. It got weird. He had a porn star on there for you, and then you go back in some of his other ones, and then you, So I don't know if you were auditioning or what. But. No. I'm just saying, times are hard. I'm not saying you would. I'm just like, right? I don't know. Times are hard.
True. No.
But
go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
I was just gonna ask. You're an influencer now. Correct. Did you fall into that, or did you plan on it? A mixture of the two? How'd you get to where you are now? You've got 65,000 followers on the gram. Is that about right?
And to give it some context, sorry to interrupt. Like, I know Love through this event that she asked me to do, and I didn't really know what an influencer was until I got there. And it was like this Gordon Ramsay thing, and it was amazing to see the influencers and what it really meant, because I always thought I really honestly thought it was a joke, and most Generation Xers like myself will think it's BS. Let alone we did get a good chuckle out of the clip that we saw you in, Brandon. Oh yeah, I know. I got a chuckle out of it too. But the very professional Love that was there, she kind of peep game and let me know what it really was about. And then I met some other ones too. That was it was amazing story. So from there, that's kind of how, we want to get you on here. And that's how the connection is, I guess. So with that, go ahead and answer Ding's question.
I had a friend that said, let's be influencers. And I wasn't on Instagram at the time. It was actually, I think it was 3 years ago today. So she said, let's become influencers. What is an influencer? I asked.
Is that easy?
She said, just post pictures online, get free shit. I was like, all right, sure. But then I asked her if you can get money, and she said, yeah. So that's when I dove into it, and I did a lot of research. I applied myself into tons of courses. I had tons of mentors. I did a lot of meetups, and if I wanted to learn how to monetize, I wanted to do it the right way, and I wanted to learn fast. And it's amazing, guys. Like it's become my baby, because it is amazing how much you can monetize off social media and off the internet, especially now while your audience is captive. I've always been into marketing. I've always been into the psychology of people and marketing, and just understanding how people work, what emotions are evoked by seeing certain things. Just the science of it all is just, it is really a science, guys.
Well, now, I mean, you look at some of the...
a lot of people look at it and they're just like, she's just fucking posting pictures and getting free shit. I'm like, yeah, okay. Love visiting.
Incidentally, are you there because you're an influencer? Are you there in Mexico? Did someone? Are you influencing something?
Deny. I'm always influencing. I'm always influencing.
Nice. Look at you with the little. So all expense paid.
To get to 65,000 followers in 3 years is an impressive task. Say 3 years ago, where were you at? Because you weren't at 0. Were you at 200? Were you at 2,000? Like, what was
I will say a year and a half ago. So my 50,000 mark was at 18 months. So,
wow.
I mean.
Well, how many did you have before that, though? Like when you first started?
I literally started from 0. I wasn't posting just the post. I literally started from 0, and I said, let's go all in. Because I was on all these other channels, such as Facebook, and I like Facebook because I can privatize each group and each piece of content, to be private. And I was on Snapchat just for fun. But when I found out how big Instagram was, that's when I realized how big that pot is. Wow. 1.5 billion people look at Instagram story, each month. So I'm a travel influencer. And then I transitioned to become a travel and lifestyle influencer.
Lifestyle. Wow. Yeah. Wow. So that's a thing. So that's the niche.
So lifestyle is everything. Like I can market. I have contracts with protein companies, with smoothies, with restaurants, with just pretty much everything.
Yep. And are you represented at all, or do you do freelance everything?
Freelance everything. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to really belong to an agency, not at my level.
Yeah.
Because
are there agencies out there?
Well, they'll take a cut. Yeah.
Oh,
I imagine there's got to be. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
But do you even need an agent anymore? Like with what's going on?
Not with this.
Yeah.
Do you know that the best influencers, you can be an influencer even with 500. 500.
They call those the micros, right? Or micro.
They're the nanos. They're the nanos.
Nano. Okay.
And then the micro, micro would be about maybe until, I forgot the number, like maybe 30,000, or even 50,000, 75,000. It all depends. And then beyond that is the macro. And the effectiveness kind of isn't that high because everyone knows that it's just a contract for you, whereas when you have a smaller group or smaller audience, they know that they are that's your close net. They're those are people that are truly following you. They're your friends, they're your family. So yeah.
Sure. Wow. So it truly is a science. And so I kind of got into this a little bit on the marketing side as I venture back to school, and it talked about how to use those levels you just mentioned, the nano, the micro, and then whatever. Actually, it was specifically to them, how you can group them together within a niche, and how collectively it becomes a macro, and you can and it allows you to hit a lot more different areas, I guess, or I don't know what they're called. And you can really make a run on it with your business that way, instead of choosing just one that has maybe 60 and it's kind of it's in one direction. And they said in using that system, it's more beneficial to the business using the micros or nano influencers. So I'm thinking, did I just have an idea? What was that? Whose house was that in?
I'm sure it was Callie.
I'm sure it was Callie.
It might have been.
Annoying
your
neighbor
neighbors.
kids.
Yeah.
Was your neighbor
Should we go to
coming in?
Go to the front door again, Callie?
Fuck them. No. We don't need that up in here. Yeah.
Is your background Cheers?
Yeah, it is. That's great.
I got tired of this one. Yeah. I downloaded a few a little while ago. This is appropriate. Yeah. You guys give me shit about not having my bookcase, but
San Francisco.
Is it better if I do it this way?
Oh yeah, look at you. Just widen down.
That's good. Yeah.
Okay,
either way.
Great.
So, Love, was there an event or an individual that helped the virality at any point, or was it just a gradual growth? And
can you confirm that virality is a word?
Virality is definitely a word. I'll fucking die on that hill,
Think
bro.
of vitality or virility is a word.
Virility is a word.
Yeah.
Vitality also a word. Virility. Okay, I may have to check the periodic table for that one. But Love, did you answer the question? I think we know what you meant. I don't know.
Is there no
Virality?
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
Callie's still on it. I love it.
Virality.
I'm sorry. We may have messed up the intensity of the question. So there was not necessarily one person or one group.
Did you have a mentor?
Explode.
Who gets you into this career field? You did have a mentor.
So I did have a mentor, and so I look at anybody and everybody, and I make sure that I get as much as I can from people without accepting a no. So I had, so I don't know if you guys are big into social media. So there was this family on board, and they are known as the Mcclure Family. They're America's #1 social media family. And they were on board my flight. And I literally asked, when I found out who they were, because I didn't know who they were, I asked them a whole bunch of questions. I literally sat right next to the father.
In flight.
In flight.
Oh, jeez.
Why?
You know what? Why not? You're right.
No, I mean, you have to understand captivity. Like when somebody's captive, maybe you guys know this. Oh, yeah, you definitely know this. When you guys are in the cockpit, that person has to listen to you. There's nowhere to go. And so I literally sat down next to him, and I just pounded all the tough questions. You know, I said, are you connected to Wi-Fi? I want you to go look at my profile. Tell me what I could do better. Tell me what I can. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm all for the pain, because if there's no pain, there's no gain, right? So I asked him, I said, tell me what I need to do better. What is the hardest they look like? What is the, the reality of it all? What is, how hard is it? What do you think I can improve on? Do you think that I have a chance? And I asked all the intangible questions, because that's more important. So, yeah.
And
so his name is, oh yeah, until now, like actually I was out here and he has like 2 million. Together that family has probably like 4 million followers, and on, so it's the McClure twins. And then he's JK McClure, the father and the producer. Yeah. They have the cutest family. And, but they have huge following on YouTube. So they basically, Chris, you're not interested in what I say. You're not looking.
Oh, I'm looking. I'm sorry.
It's social media.
You know what it is?
He's not interested.
Damn it, you gotta listen.
My camera's over here on my iPad, and you're down here. Okay. Hang on.
Somebody's at his door.
Callie, you do not have to explain yourself.
I'm sorry. No, I'm riveted.
I'm just joking with you.
And I've got a question when you're done. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm riveted.
I can't see you and the camera at the same time.
Are you virilated though? Have you virilized?
It's such a word, dude. I guarantee it.
I want to play Scrabble with you sometime, Tyler. I will kick your ass.
No, yeah, we're gonna bet on it too. I can't wait to win lots of money.
Yeah.
You do a lot of crosswords. I don't do crosswords.
I do them every day.
Yeah, we know. We could tell based on your
Love,
vocabulary.
I'm curious on a career like that, since it's your side hustle. If you take a break, like is it the kind of thing where you have to constantly be producing content to keep your place in line? Or if you take maybe a 2-week, 1-month break, do you kind of fade off into obscurity and have to claw your way back to it? Or can you take a break and jump right back where you left off?
You can, and it's actually suggested because you're on sensory overload. It's a lot. It is a lot. I am usually on, nerded out with my blue light glasses because I'm constantly looking at a screen, constantly editing, constantly taking classes. I take 4 classes a week, constantly just looking at a screen. Can you phase yourself out? Yes, because there's always somebody up and coming that could pass you. In fact, that's what actually happened with me. As I told you, I hit my 3-year mark. I guess somewhere around today, and I'm at 65,000. Whereas when I was at 18 months, I was 50,000. So, I might have bad news.
No, we got you.
Battery's dying. My battery's dying. I didn't get my charger. Okay, so hold on. I apologize.
And it's fine if you end up, closing out or, dropping off. We'll just talk
I
about
can
you
join
when
back
you're off.
on I can join back on in the in my suite or in my rooftop where I have my pool. But
Oh God. There we go.
but I don't know how the Wi-Fi is.
If only we were influencers and got stuff paid for us and shit. Anyway, you were saying.
Yeah, to get back on track 18 months ago.
But so I didn't really so I didn't really, what would that be? April, May, June, July, 13, so about 15 months. The last 15 months I've been doing a lot of consulting work, helping, I believe in helping people. I believe that when you have knowledge, you have to give, you have to give it away to help other people. And so I've been helping a lot of small businesses really enhance their social media game.
Oh,
so,
wow. But has that affect your productivity though?
It has, yes. It has.
Okay.
And so, and that's okay, you go where the money's at, right?
Yeah, if you're able to charge those people, absolutely.
Is there any, I don't want to say it like as a pyramid scheme, but is there any benefit to you bringing somebody else up? Can you kind of monetize off of their success, or is it all kind of every man for himself and then all the
ultimately, but that's life in general, right? Like I bring a nobody, Christopher Callahan. Next thing you know, he's Callie from Maui. Callie from Maui. Do you know Callie from Maui? And then
Callie from Maui. You know what? I think you just created something. Holy shit!
Someone get me a lay.
Wow. Callie just got a new freaking call sign.
Callie from Maui, and then
writing it down.
Just dropping my name. That says a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Oh sure. Yeah. Okay.
And influencers can feed off each other quite a bit too,
Absolutely. You should, as not just influencers in every business, right? You have to create that network where you cross-pollinate. Exactly. Yeah. Every business does it,
Sure.
So, yeah.
So the 12 listeners that we have.
And we're 4 of them.
And 4 of them are here. Yeah.
4 of them are here.
We're live.
A lot of them, airline pilots primarily, military pilots, considering the airlines in the future. What would you recommend for the individual that's watching this that likes the idea of becoming an influencer? And what is your recommendation for the first, couple steps and the first few months? Like, how does someone get started? And what kind of expectations should they have?
As with business, you can't really expect, right? You can look at the numbers and know that within 3 months, 3 years, that's when you expect to fully monetize or fully make a profit, right?
Sure.
So as far as expectations, what you can truly expect is you will get what you put in. That's it. As far as somebody wanting to become an influencer, I suggest taking all the classes first, 1 class at a time, applying what they learn, not just learning, but just applying what they learn and perfecting it and going on. I'm very structured. So you perfect it, you go to the next craft, whether it's the marketing aspect, the photography aspect, the business aspect, and that's a totally different ball game, the business aspect, because, and that's why a lot of, not saying most of them, but a lot of like Chinese restaurants fail because they're great at cooking, but the business aspect, the accounting aspect is lacks, right?
Lacking, yeah.
That talent lacks. And so having, been an entrepreneur, I've understood that there's a lot that goes on behind it. My proposal writing, my contract writing, understanding the laws. There's a lot of laws, FCC laws that the minute you become a brand, you have to adhere to that. So as far as would I tell anybody to do it, I would say just not only do your research, but just learn about it. I'm going to date myself. I was that Asian kid who developed 4 disposable cameras in high school a week.
Damn, you old.
So I took a lot of pictures. I love pictures.
I'm still older.
So do you do your own photography, or do you have a photographer for your good stuff?
Sometimes I have photographers. A lot of times I have photographers. A lot of times I hire them. I collaborate with them. A lot of times I don't trust people because I am a photographer, so I see beauty, and so I'll position my camera or my phone and just say,
nice.
Don't move, and then I'll jump in.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And so that's
very cool.
So,
obviously,
so it sounds like you have
photographers. You can use it's all the editing afterwards. I'm finding too. Like I'm not one myself,
listen.
but like
yeah,
you know, you can have the eye, but like you're paying them for their time after they've snapped that shot.
Correct.
And that's
That's
you may not have time to do.
Photographer gets paid for. Yeah. So I have fun when I go on these vacations. I have fun when I travel, but when I get home, and you know, everyone always asks me, "Hey, you're from DC. Why don't you do anything in DC?" I go, "I don't have time. When I'm at home, that's when I'm putting my content together." You know, it's so easy to snap shots or, you know.
But when that's you like 10% of the work. I know. Yeah.
You put the content together. Yeah. So, I mean, does that answer your question? I think I answered all of those questions.
You did.
So if you get,
it's just like any business, you know. It is a business, you know. So it's a marketing business. If you understand marketing, I would say go. You know, remove yourself. You know, remove yourself and the selfie mode that you're in, and you think that you can monetize off that. Remove yourself from that idea that you can monetize off that. It is. I just had a meeting today, this morning, with the director of marketing here, and I love what I learned from her. It's literally making sure you move, you speak, you talk, you walk like the brand.
Yeah.
You know, can you do that? Can you do that? You know,
so a lot of people have a passion
they
have a passion about what they're doing, but can they really turn that passion into a lifestyle that people are willing to tune in for, right? You know, are they willing to click on or whatever? And do they have the tenacity to stick with it, you know, through the entirety?
3, and then 4, can they run that business, right? You know?
Well, it sounds like you're running like kind of like what's Ford known for? Like an assembly line of social media. So you have this, then this, then this, then this.
But she's like, the end of that, she's working at every station though right now.
Correct. Yeah, she's working at every station.
Do you have any intentions of plugging someone into any of those stations in the near future? Or if a furlough is imminent, you know, obviously you can maintain. Do you plan on trying to expand that assembly line at all?
And hire some of the FAs that are furloughed, maybe? Is that what you're saying, Tyler?
I do. I'm actually training one right now, and I am training him so that I could hire him and as an assistant or intern October 1st. Or excuse me, September 1st.
You know, because you have a hell of a brand, and that's something that you can get other people that travel involved in. And for those out there, we'll put all in the notes. It's at comeflywithlove. And obviously it's a play on your name, but it's also a brand that you can hire these other folks into under the same moniker, right? Come Fly with Love, and you know, put a different spin on it for all these other people that might work for you or work for themselves, but still give you the content, right? Is that kind of how you would? No, that's genius.
Exactly. Yeah, that's because great. There are. I do work with a lot of people in the airline industry who have experience, not as much, but who have experience to do this, you know, and so they have the background and they have, you know, they've taken the classes that I've taken and they're kind of aware of, you know, certain things that I am.
Yeah. Tangent here. I think it's crazy how many flight attendants I fly with that have college degrees in impressive stuff. And not to downplay that career field at all, but I'm like, what are you doing here? You've got like a mathematics degree. I'm like, well, I like to travel. I like the benefits. It works out for my lifestyle. My husband does this. Great. I agree with you, but wow, there's some big brain people running right in that career field, you know? Yeah.
Definitely. I've met a few of them myself. It is pretty amazing. Impressive what their backgrounds are, and then it really wraps around the travel. They love the travel, and they love the freedom that it affords. It's a great career field for those that are looking for that kind of thing, maybe a second career or your first career,
right?
And then in between is kind of where you are, Love. Like you're in between the beginning and then, you know, the end of a career, and you're utilizing all the knowledge and everything you've learned about travel to now kind of create this or dig into this other market that was created because of social media and the internet and Wi-Fi and all this stuff. I think those are all the same thing, right? I don't know.
Right.
Something.
You sound so smart, man.
The magic. The magic of the internet. It's all smoke and mirrors. I don't think it's voodoo.
So do you mind sharing what your first deal was, and not how much it was,
and not who it was,
but like what the deal looked like? Was it 3 posts, or like what's the structure of a deal look like? And you know, from your first deal, you know, to a standard deal. Now I'm suspecting there is no standard deal. You guys, everyone's probably different, but without leaving leaving the dollar signs out of the picture, what does a structure look like in that scenario?
You asked so many questions. Let's start with
some
structure.
of them are good questions. Some of them are stupid.
Yeah, they're all great questions.
I think you said first. So like, if you're just trying to break in, what would be a good like breakout deal that would make you excited to be like, yep, I could sustain this, or I should give this up and try something different? What would be a good first deal to get your mitts on?
You know, I can't really answer that. I look at every deal as significant as, you know, the next deal. I look at every $500 deal as big as a $7,000 deal, because I believe that
you just
one
answered
deal
the
leads
question.
to the next. I believe that leads to the next and the next. Same thing with career-wise. You know, you could start out as a flight attendant, but when doors open, when you have that open capacity to accept whatever comes to you as far as opportunity, but I'm always looking. Right?
Sure.
I mean, as an entrepreneur, you're always looking. You know, listen, after you get furloughed one time, that's all it takes. You're always looking.
Mm-hmm. Always, just in case. Be in a position to F you. You always want to be in a position to F you.
Best time to look for a job is when you already have one.
Yeah.
Right. Always. Well, you always, you know, every millionaire, billionaire has multiple sources of income. And whether it's regardless of how much you generate, you have to have that, right? Just also because you never know where it leads. So,
you know, I was impressed too with some of the folks that, you know, I met at that event that we went to. Was like, I was impressed with some of them. Were like, oh yeah, I get free stays. They fly me out round trip, first class, free stays at a high-end Marriott, whatever their signature brand is. And I get to stay there for 5 days. And I was like, so you're getting paid too? She's like, no, that's what I do. And then I comment about it. I'm like, dude, I'm excited about that. I'll do that. You know, I don't need to get paid. That is getting paid. Like, it's all expense paid vacation. Now, granted, she's not a pilot or a flight attendant, so she's probably not as used to traveling as we are, because, you know, we like staycations, not vacations. But I mean, I thought that was amazing. So if that's the low end, and then the high end is you getting paid $7,000 a contract or whatever, for whatever it is that you're trying to do. I don't know what they're requiring you to do. Like, do you have to post certain pictures? Do you have to do a write-up? And I did ask that question to some of these other folks, and it was almost, no, it's not almost, they're reviews. So it's almost like they're sitting there like Siskel and Ebert, who dated themselves now.
Yeah, Siskel's been dead for 20 years, man.
At least. They're sitting
and
there.
Ebert's just hanging on.
I thought he was gone too. Is he still? Oh, man.
He's still hanging on by
you know, they
leg.
give their accounts and how they felt, you know, as an influencer, as a layman, I guess, like someone that's just like us. They give their accounts, and, you know, we're plug in, and we're like, you know what, I'm going to go do that now. And you think about the money that's saved by that company as opposed to doing a commercial.
Oh, absolutely.
It was insane. So that cost that company what? Our round trip, $1,000. They're staying in a hotel room that's a nice one.
Correct.
That's theirs anyway. So this is a sunken cost. So all in all, maybe they spent $3,000 on this person. Meanwhile, the commercial cost millions.
Nobody watches commercials.
Nobody watches TV anymore. So like these influencers and again, these micro and nano, and I wrote it down somewhere. It's amazing how they're utilized now and how they're really the brand makers and breakers.
Right. Well, guys, I mean, think about it. Think about marketing. You're going to spend $4,000, $5,000, not even. You spend $15,000 just to create an ad. You know, you have to create the scene. You have to make sure that it's perfect. You have to provide the products in the scene. You have to ship out the actual product that you want marketed. You want to hire the staff around you. You know, you want to have the availability of the resources around you. Easily 15, 20,000. When you can hire somebody like me, a company hired me because they saw that what I do is I take people vicariously with me on my vacation. And they didn't want my audience. They didn't want my audience. So they actually didn't want me to post anything. They just wanted me to film. And I gave them all rights to all my filming. And they posted it on their social media site. And because of my contract, so I didn't even have to post. I was like, sure. I just took pictures and pretended I was posting, but I didn't have to post. So I didn't have to edit it because they needed to edit it according to their brand, colors and whatnot.
How'd it come out afterwards? Was it better? Did they edit it for you and you could reshare it, or was that not?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't my style. I'm a very vibrant person. It wasn't my style. Yeah. But I got $15,000 for that, to go on vacation. I know, at this 5-star, eat.
And is that residual? So do you have residual deals, or it's just one time? It was a one-time thing?
No, it's one time. Yes.
And that's typically how it is.
One time. No, it depends on what your contract is.
Yeah, sure.
Damn.
Yeah, so so I'm primarily on Instagram, and so you can promise us, you can have certain rates. I have a media card or a rate card where if I post a certain amount of rates or post a certain amount of frames, then they pay me for that, and then also the post as well. So
well, that's good to know. That's pretty interesting. So you have a rate card depending on what you do for them is how much you're gonna get paid. Wow. And that's contractual and all that stuff. So that's interesting. Huh. So you're not coming back to being a flight attendant, is what you're saying. Is what you're saying. We won't send this to management. Yeah. Don't worry. Nobody in management from your company watches this. So
no,
wow, I wouldn't go back.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm set,
And and again, to your credit, it's due to you being able to pivot during these times. Now, it may have been because of the first one you went through, and you understand the necessity of
always
pivoting.
Because of the first one. Everything. I mean, I was so hurt.
Yeah.
I left the marketing. I was a marketing director, when I was young, and I was making. Yeah, I mean, to a lot of people, making 6 figures early 20s isn't much, but for me, it was everything. And then I wanted to be, I became a flight attendant and then got furloughed.
A lot.
Then I became a flight attendant, and it's like, you get furloughed, like, wow, I just left my well-paying job for, to become a flight attendant. I'm sure you guys have these stories too.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then this happens and you're like, hell no, never again.
To make an analogy, just an observation, I saw in the early 2000s, there was a writer's strike in Hollywood. You guys remember that? When all the writers got together and said, we're not going to, whatever the SAG, they're not paying us enough. We're going to stop writing sitcoms and TVs and movies and stuff. And the reality TV spiked way up after that because of that. Guess what? There's no writing for that. So the industry pivoted, and now they can't put the genie back in the bottle. That's here to stay. And the people that made money hand over foot off the reality are still just laughing all the way to the bank. And so I think, to your point, Brandon and Love, that the ones that are able to see the writing on the wall and say, hard times don't have to mean hard times for me. I can pivot to this, and I can make money all the way to the bank. And it's not how I thought it was going to happen, but good on you for seeing that and for continuing to ride that train upward, because there's a lot that didn't.
Who knows where that trend's going to end up going over the cliff.
I mean, there's just so much out there. There's so much out there. Like, everyone has to understand, like, a lot of people feel stuck. You don't have to feel stuck. Where there is a need, there's money to be made. Like right now, people are captive. I mean, I have been working 19, except for this vacation. I've been drinking a lot. I've been working 19 hours a day. you know, 19 hours a day.
Speaking of
like,
which.
Super excited because.
So excited.
Yeah, because now this audience is captive. Now I can make as much as I can because everyone's listening. These rates are these media rates are what we're looking for, you know, these people who are tuning in, chiming in. So, yeah.
Have you seen a spike? This is maybe a tangent. Have you seen a spike due to many people staying home and just fucking around with their phones more? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm one of them. You know how many YouTube shows I watch?
Tyler, you know I'm one of them too. I swear I spend like 3 hours of Instagram every day looking at it.
You've been providing some great content too.
Oh, you have.
Chris.
So
I can't wait to follow your page.
If you ever see Callie on your,
he doesn't
follow
create
him, but
content.
you don't want him to
he
comment.
shares other influencers. We'll just put it that way.
You don't want him commenting on your stuff.
Yeah, but
don't get on his bad side. He's too smart, and you won't win.
You're not even safe on his good. You're not safe on his good side.
Stuff. Oh my god, yeah, that's true. You're not safe on his good side.
I do.
His trolling is infamous. It's amazing.
Oh, I love it.
Since this whole downturn happened, I've spent so much more time doing shit like that, and it's gold. Like I can't thank you guys enough for providing me something to occupy the hours in my day.
You have no idea how many people troll me, how many fake accounts I have to ask to be deleted. I have to report every month. Every month.
Well,
start taking,
you may get to add
screenshots of your best trolls, because I think there's also money to be made on that, because I love a good troll. Yeah.
And I think, Callie, you should do that. That might be your pivot, dude. Dude, can you imagine culminating on those things? You go and look at what I got stuck on. I got stuck on because I didn't know what a Karen was. I got stuck on this whole Karen thing. I follow like 3 Karen pages, Karen and Kevin.
I didn't know that there was more than one Karen. I said that Karen didn't look like the last Karen.
I was up one day. Well, I was up one night till 3 a.m. looking at Karen and Kevin videos. And I look at the clock. I'm like, what am I doing? Where am I in my life? So it's amazing.
Yeah. Instagram's amazing. It's I don't watch TV anymore purely because of Instagram.
Yeah, I know. YouTube and Instagram.
What's next, love? I mean,
do you do TikTok?
Are you hedging to another platform just in case?
So one of the studies showed that augmented reality is up and coming. It's like in the works.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
And when it pops
Huge
up,
industry.
like I'm trying to do as much research as I can. It's a little too technical for me, but
is that the goggles and stuff? I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Augmented reality. Yeah.
Just weird.
Yeah. No, it's
weird,
I'm telling you, that AR, all those industries are going to explode here in the next 5-10 years. As a matter of fact, right now, it's gaining significant momentum because of what's happening right now. So they're talking about augmented reality for meetings, you know, so you could be at home, buzz in, and now you're in a meeting in LA. You know, you didn't have to fly there. Just not good for us.
Anything AI, everyone get ready for it. You know, get ready.
Yep.
You know,
trying,
so
for
it's
sure.
coming.
So kind of to plug your thing, as you know, kind of close out here. We don't want to keep you from your paradise. So where can people find?
I have a tequila tasting in an hour, so I'm good.
Oh, you do?
Oh, cool.
Are you going to make it? Because it sounds like you've already been tasting some tequila. I don't know if.
Do you guys drink tequila? I found that tequila is much better than
Of course.
Yes,
Oaxaca?
exactly.
Love a good Oaxaca.
Oaxaca. That's what I've been having. But no, I'm tasting the best scotches. I'm sorry, tequilas.
There
so I
it
get
is.
to taste the best Clase Azul, as well as the base, like Reserve.
You can't
1942.
mix. Are you mixing? Jeez.
The
That's
best
gonna hurt.
Tequila?
That's awesome.
Hurt.
Well, so it sounds like you have a good, like a mastermind that you're helping people. Is there a place where they can find that, or is it just going to your Instagram? How can people find you and get to your mastermind group?
So the website isn't set up because I'm involved in so many projects, and so I do have to. Right now, I'm working on consultants. I'm working with consultants who are helping people with PPP money.
Oh, nice.
And
good.
so I'm like just working with them, you know.
Okay.
And there are a lot of them.
Well, how can they find you?
Oh, they could just email me. Just go to
and go to
comeflywithlove at Gmail or
comeflywithlove at Gmail, or go to at comeflywithlove on Instagram.
Right.
Is that what it is? Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll put some of that stuff in the notes. We'll put some of that.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. And I'm sure you're running from a lot of them.
Yeah.
That being said, any more questions, guys? I mean, before we let her go to her paradise, I'm sure she has a spa to go to.
Yeah, this was fascinating.
I already said that.
Hey, Bella.
Yeah, it's different. I mean, everyone thinks that it's just, with Instagram, everyone thinks that it's pictures. It's not. You have to also be ready for the different realm that your life is no longer private, and
there's a consequence.
That is a very big thing for me because I've always been private, but I'm still,
well,
trying
you
to
can still
protect
shield.
myself as much.
I learned you can take a break from it. That was one of my questions: is can you put it down if you have to? And I guess you said you can, and it does clear up where does the money come from? Because I've heard of it, but when push comes to shove, where does the check come in from? And I guess there are contracts that are established, and
these contracts are legit. Like,
I love what your dog's doing
and
behind
you do it without
Tyler.
representation too, which that actually fascinates me too, because I thought everything you want somebody, watching your back but taking a cut, but you're telling me you don't have to, and you're still getting, the big deals without a RE Gold. That's
right. No middleman. No middleman. No middleman whatsoever.
So that's a pretty pure business. I like that.
It is a pure business, and
sure.
you can do it with. Listen, you can do it with anything. You guys as pilots, can do it. I mean, literally, you love trolling. You can have a whole website. Look at influencers in the wild. They literally trolled, influencers working. And
really?
I mean, it's so funny.
Taking notes on that one.
I'm taking, I got to hold on. I got to write that down.
I am always good for
what is it called?
Oh, you guys have to watch Influencers in the Wild. Oh my God, please don't.
Hey, Tyler, how do you spell influencers?
Speaking of Karens, Brandon, I have seen Karens in the wild, and that one's awesome.
Oh, yeah. I'm a member. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a gold member on that one.
It's
I'm working my way up.
It's people just flipping out.
Oh, it's so sublime. Like you watch these and they're so mesmerizing because you can't fathom that these people really exist. Like, that's a person. Some of them, they have to be staged.
They're caricatures.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way it's real.
And they must be acting, and they're damn good.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
So it makes
people getting mad is my favorite. Bar none.
People getting mad is good too.
Love
That's a good one too.
People getting mad. Karens in the wild. Well, this is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You got a collab. I'll look for you. Yeah.
I don't know. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you might want to say, well, don't get on his bad side. Hey, take his advice. Take it.
Okay.
Just say thank you.
Just say thank you and walk away.
Thanks, Chris. See you later.
Make sure he doesn't have your information.
I'm harmless.
Yeah, right. He's like an Instagram hitman. Well, thanks for joining us. No, don't. Any parting words, guys, young lady?
No, this went in a completely different direction. I had written down stuff because I didn't know what you were wanting to talk about, Tyler. So this is actually pretty enlightening.
Yeah.
The only thing I had written down was spokespeople for different products, like who you could kick their ass, because that's what I was talking about with my friend yesterday. So who's the closest to a fair fight you can think of? For me, it was the Dos Equis guy. I thought I could take him, but he'd probably put up a good fight. But
do you know that guy's backstory? You might want to check him out. He's been around the world.
Yeah, maybe I could.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm not talking about his fake backstory. I'm talking about his real backstory.
The real
he was
guy?
Yeah. He was an actor in LA. That he was a principal extra, like in Magnum PI and a Hawaii 5-0. Yeah, that guy was big time.
Yeah. What got me on the subject, I saw one of Shaquille O'Neal's, he did some shameless car insurance commercial, and I'm like, what a dick,
Yeah, the general,
what an idiot, But I'm like, you know what? He could still squash me, so I'm gonna let him do whatever he wants.
He's making a shit ton of money. You think you can beat somebody, Love? Who could you beat? Whose ass could you kick?
Yours? No, I'm just
kidding.
Oh.
Wow, there's nothing worse than getting punked by a chick. God.
I could do it all day. We didn't get there yet.
Well, that'll be for the next show that you're on.
We're gonna do
Don't
this
you worry.
after the tequila tasting.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
We'll reconvene.
Definitely.
That's the
We'll
fight
reconvene.
Yeah.
Done. But yes, thank you so much for having me. I guess you guys should check on me in October when I do get furloughed, right?
You know what? Can we do another
yeah.
show with you? Can we bring you back on afterwards and see where you're at? That'd be
Sure.
great.
Can I? Yeah. And then I can ask you guys questions.
That'd be awesome.
Yes, you
Oh,
can.
yeah.
Yes,
I do have one question before we let you go.
Sure.
Have you ever flexed with your clout when you've received poor service or someone's treated you poorly? Like, I got 65,000 followers. You sure you want to go through with this? Have you ever leveraged that or threatened to
That's a good point.
No.
Can you?
No?
Like what? I can, but what? What do you mean flex? Like what
for
would I
an
have
actual
to flex?
restaurant?
Bad service?
Yeah,
or
bad service.
Bad.
Because I mean, I feel like that's a shield, right?
I bet you that's coming.
For people to quote unquote treat you well. Not that.
Yeah.
I mean, people should treat you well in general, but sometimes you just get bad service.
I'm a little proactive. No, so I'm a little proactive. Because I eat out a lot, I make sure that the service is good. So I call them in advance and I say, hey, I'm coming here and I want the best lighting. I'm going to be filming. Make sure, and then they say hi and I introduce myself and they've already
So they know you're an
ad,
influencer
so
before you start.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course.
It's like
and
housing
then,
a critic, right? It's like kind of.
Yeah, because I do write the reviews. I do write reviews. I do write articles. I submit them to magazines. So it's important.
Have you gotten a cold shoulder before, or when you make that initial cold call? Have you gotten like a pushback saying like,
"No, we don't want you to come in our restaurant"?
Yeah, everybody wants coverage.
I wish they would.
But I'm sure they look you up.
Marketing, Oh, absolutely. It's free marketing. Okay, so I do get the cold shoulder with a lot of older millennials and Gen X's. A whole bunch of like older who don't understand social media. Whereas like I've kind of inhibited the Gen Z like mentality where I don't even Google anymore. I go straight to Instagram.
My buddy does that.
I don't look at the weather in Cancun. I go straight to a hotel's website and say, oh shit, it's raining there. Because it's real time. It's real time. It's so authentic.
True. My buddy just told me that. Wow.
Yeah, it's real time. It's authentic. It's real because these people are real.
Yeah.
Not everyone's an influencer. So
my buddy's 10 years younger than me. He's he's Gen Y. He's millennial. And I asked him, I was like, so when someone asks you about something, do you go straight to Google? He's like, or what do you do? He's like, no, if it's a person that somebody's asking me about, I go to IG. And if it's a business, I go to Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm like, holy cow. So you don't even Google anything. And he's like, who Googles anymore? I'm like, oh shit.
No, I don't. I mean, I literally just go on.
Man.
I literally just go onto Instagram. I see how well, I could do so much. I could see how well the company's doing. I could see where they are based on postings. I could see who they're affiliated with. I could see everything based on their Instagram account.
Effort they put into that. Yeah. Okay.
Wow. Yeah. And
or
my
people
buddy,
tagging them. I mean, there's a whole bunch.
That's another thing. So who's tagging them? Who's commenting on their pages? And that's important too. Who are they attracting?
Absolutely.
You can gain so much information from these.
Oh
things.
Yeah. Like when I go to a lounge and I think, oh, this is a classy lounge, and then I see a whole bunch of people with like string dresses. I'm thinking, that's probably not my. I'm not, my presence isn't warranted there. So,
I wouldn't go there.
But that's important to me, because, again, that's why influencers are so important, because you go on a marketing website or their website and they have all the most beautiful pictures and you think, wow, this place is really classy. Then you get there, it's like so thuggish. And you're thinking a bra.
They use a wide angle lens in a small room,
It always looks packed. Looks like that.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
I always look at the hotel's gym, right? And they always use a wide angle lens there, and they'll have like, 2 elliptical machines and a dumbbell rack.
It looks huge.
Like, okay, it's okay. You get there like, shit.
It's a closet.
Right. So this is what my wide angle lens is looking at.
Okay.
All right,
Really?
all
No,
right.
we're gonna rub it in.
That's a low key
Easy.
flex. Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, it was nice to have you on the show. Thanks.
Yes.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
love.
Thanks
We
for having
appreciate
me.
it.
I will
Awesome.
talk to you guys soon.
We'll see you in October.
Enjoy Mexico.
I will always.
All right.
Take
Bye.
care, guys.
Peace.